Hey everyone, this is just going to be a quick video about me talking about Blade vs. Buffy. Just something I can throw out to appease the almighty YouTube algorithm because I really wanted to talk about this episode. Don't expect any of my usual edits. I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm lazy, and also I've been busy, so give me some slack. And also for those wondering if I'm gonna do anything like a review for like all the videos I missed, I'm probably gonna try and do an end of year retrospective, but given that Death Battle doesn't really work by the season thing, I don't think that's gonna work out. I'll try though, but also, because this is the live action episode, I'm gonna be substituting animation for cinematography for my final rankings. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's talk Buffy. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. The analysis for Blade is kind of just the standard Marvel analysis for a lot of their characters that don't go into the whole cosmic multiverse shit. But you know what? It does get bonus points for pointing out that no one else in the Marvel Universe believes that vampires exist. That running gag was actually pretty funny. Outside of that, it was fine. Wasn't too big on the Wesley Snipes tax evasion joke, but that's mostly because it's been done better in the Nostalgia Critic videos. Speaking of, I do like that they use the martial arts that Wesley Snipes used for the Blade movies as a way to look at what martial arts Blade himself is good at. That's a pretty good way to incorporate those movies. So yeah, overall, his analysis is it's pretty good. Buffy's is still better though. Maybe it's just because I knew nothing about Buffy outside of the fact that she exists, which is more than I could say for most of the Death Battle community, because I was honestly shocked that a ton of people were asking, who the fuck is Buffy? I always assumed that she was just like a pop culture icon, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, I was far more entertained by Buffy's analysis. It does feel like she had the most effort put into her, which, you know, makes sense when you realize that she has been in more material than Blade has, despite the fact that Blade is from the 70s while Buffy is from the 90s. But outside of that, it really does cover her well. Also, I feel like this goes without saying, but the editing for both is just phenomenal. So yeah, now let's talk about the fight. The fight is really long. Like, the first couple of minutes of the fight are dedicated to the opening. The opening! Blade versus Buffy they don't start fighting each other until like the 20-minute mark of the video, because the first 3 minutes are spent fighting vampires who look suspiciously like the Death Battle crew, and it's awesome. I love it. It really harkens back to like the old school Death Battle episodes, and I'm so happy that it happened. But then when we do get to the fight between the two, man, Isma Hawke just really stepped up their game for this episode, because this choreography absolutely wipes the floor with Matt vs. Dick and Bucky vs. Jason. Now, before I continue glazing the fuck out of this episode, I just want to give my two criticisms for this fight. For starters, I don't know what Blade is entirely like in the comics, but when he shoots the girl who got bit by a vampire, I can't help but remember the Blade movie where he helped Vanessa when she got bit by a vampire, and this just makes Blade come across as kind of a dick. I cannot speak today, I'm sorry. I literally just woke up. Forgive me. But yeah, maybe he's different in the comics, but still, this kind of feels a bit weird to me. Blade's voice is also just not the best, in my opinion. Whenever I pick Blade, or like whenever I picture Blade's voice in my mind, I always picture something deeper, like an American Idris Elba or Keith David. This is just a little too high for me, but okay, that's my only two criticisms. Time to go back to freaking glazing. Fiction is great as Blade. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of his voice, but he just captures the aura of Blade, as well as the corniness of the movies. But like, seriously, everything about him, from his fight to the way he just oozes coolness, it's just perfectly captured in this one man. And I know a lot of people aren't really a fan of his hair in this episode, but you know what? I really do like it. It's kind of a fusion between the movie design and the Marvel Rivals design. So yeah, Blade was done phenomenally in this episode. He's just perfect. And while we're talking about their actors, Mara Mulrooney does great as Buffy as well. Like I said, I don't don't have much to say on her performance as I do fictions, because again, I don't know too much about Buffy, but she's super entertaining to watch on screen, and you know what? I wasn't expecting this level of stage combat from a Darman actor. She knocked it out of the park with this episode. Another thing I want to give credit to, the visuals. The effects of all the vampires dying look so cool. The glowing eyes that the vampires have look so cool. All the weapons, from the breathing gun to the stake Buffy uses to the Slayer scythe, they all look so cool. And don't even get me started on the camera work in this episode. There are so many different types of shots and techniques used that puts a lot of other Death Battle episodes to shame. Yes, even the animated ones. And if you thought the previous Ismahawk episodes had weak deaths, well, I can assure you, this one does not. It is a full-on decapitation death. Oh, and it looks so good as well. Oh my god. Overall, this episode just looks phenomenal. The post-analysis is well, it's just sort of fine, in my opinion. I guess, I don't necessarily disagree with the result, but I do think it's weird to say that Buffy has a weapon that can one-shot Blade, while Blade should also have weapons that can one-shot Buffy, but, you know, outside of that, it's alright. A little bit uninteresting compared to the analysis segments for both, but still fine. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It had a ton of love and effort put into it, and it very much shows. But how would I rank this episode? So, I'm going to give writing a 20 out of 25. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but I do think they could have found a way to make Blade come across as less dickish in the opening, and I will admit the "Are you out of your mind" reference is a little random, as is the whole "let's see you cut through adamantium" line. Not the ice skating uphill line though, that was always random, and if anything, it fits perfectly here. Cinematography is going to get a 25 out of 25. The variety of camera tricks, the quality of the visuals, and just the impressive choreography just blend together to create a visually stunning episode. I could watch this episode like 20 times and still be impressed. It is legit. They knocked it out of the park with this. It feels like an official project. Analysis is going to get a 19 out of 25. The regular analysis segments are both really good. Blades is a little bit to me, mostly because it's just like Marvel has been on the show so much that like I'm kind of bored by it sometimes. But Buffy's really carried, and the post-analysis is also kind of just uninteresting to me. And entertainment, the new category, because I feel like editing is just always going to get a perfect score no matter what. Entertainment's going to get a 24 out of 25. There are a couple of minor issues that hold this episode back from being a perfect episode, but excluding those, this is still a really fun watch. I can see myself returning to this episode many, many times in the future. Overall, that's going to leave Blade vs. Buffy with a 88 out of 100. A pretty good score for this episode. I think it's honestly the most fair review I've given this year. But it is a really good episode. As for the next time, Dante vs. Clive, I'm so fucking happy. For those who don't know, I talked about this matchup earlier this year on Twitter, so I am super excited for this episode. But overall, what did you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button as well as the subscribe button, and ring the bell if you want to see any more of my videos in the future. Follow me on my socials in the description below. And with that in mind, I'll see you later, Cap Nation. I gotta go get a haircut now. Bye-bye!